1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He's a mouse, he's our eyes in the ring.
I really do enjoy watching him fight.
If you don't dedicate yourself to that sport, you will lose.
He's a warrior, man. He's always been a warrior.
They will run around, they will beat you.
And touches on it all the time. You gotta break the body down.
Go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Is the thing started?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We all good?
We
back?
good to go.
Are we back?
We're back.
We back?
Eight counts is back, man.
If Count is back after the holidays. Merry Christmas.
Holiday break.
Yeah.
Holiday break, man.
Holiday break. And Merry Christmas to everybody at home, you know.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's by the time this comes
By
out.
the time it's coming out, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the new year. It's going to be 2018, so.
You all good? Hey, Cam's a little sick, man.
I'll just edit all that out.
Nah, man, it's all good, man. It's part of the job. You're sick,
Yeah.
Right, man. We got a cool, fun episode for the year end. Last episode of 2017, you know.
Last episode of 2017.
We're gonna end on a high note. Let's start right away. So,
Let's do it.
real quick. So last night, the Japanese fighter Naoya Inoue was fighting the French fighter Yohan Boyeux. So the fight happened in Japan. And have you watched the fight? I mean, it was last night.
I didn't watch the fight.
Yeah, it was a short fight.
Third round stoppage, right? You said?
Yeah, man. He dropped. He dropped my. Man, the first round. If you watch just the first round, you already knew it was over. Like,
And it was like that?
Yeah, toward the end of the first round, like he landed like a pretty. I think was it a straight or a jab, and Boyeux went down. And just by the drop, you could tell, you know, the fight wasn't going to be too long, you know. And then, in the second round, he continued to punishing the body, and, eventually he finished the job in the third round. So, he was just, like I said, beating the body, man. He dropped him with 2 body shot, and then that was it, really. So, another win Easy work, another win for Inoue. Yeah, man. We'll see, if they can have this man fight over here in the US, because
Yeah.
he's definitely a star, man.
Yeah. From what I hear good things about him, so that'll be exciting to see him come over here. See how he holds up.
So, as usual, we have some fight announcement. Over in the UK, Anthony Joshua co-promoted his first show, the British Beef, featuring Lawrence Okoli versus Joshua Isaac Chamberlain as the main event. The event will be held on February the 3rd in London. Man, I've watched the press conference. Anthony Joshua is making his debut as a promoter. And the things that I like a lot about Anthony Joshua is he's very well spoken. Very, I don't know if he had some media training.
Yeah,
but man,
he's a very
very articulate, very professional.
Articulate, professional type, individual, and I think he represents himself very well when he's on camera. Probably off camera too, but you can just tell he has his stuff together.
Yeah, man, like, the thing that I love is, like, for example, for the promotion, he wasn't trying to be like, okay, I'm Anthony Joshua and I'm gonna handle things. He let the fighters be the fighters, you know, like he was kind of taking a step back and he was just part of the whole event, but he wasn't there like, you know, hey, I'm letting me, like some other people that are fighters, that used to be fighters and now promoters, you can tell they still kind of want to run the show. Whereas he was kind of letting the whole event unfold. And I thought that was pretty cool.
He wasn't the spotlight.
He wasn't the spot. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, I gotta ask you the first question. What do you make of AJ promoting debut? Do you think it's too soon? As he's trying to fight at the same time? What do you think?
I don't think it's terrible. I remember you touched on it a little while ago too, and you were talking about, you know, kind of just stick with one thing at the time. Like, do you want to be, I think we were talking about Adrian Broner, cause he tries to rap, he does all this other stuff, you know, he seems pretty spread out between like different things, and you know, if you want to be one thing, you know, put all your time into that. I mean, if with this promoting thing, you know, it's I think it's something he understands because he is a fighter, so, and I think he can still, you know, give the time he needs to boxing, but I don't think it's too early, man, you know, for him to start his own promotion company. I don't know. I don't see it as a bad thing.
Yeah, you don't think it's gonna? I guess not.
I feel like he's already set himself up to fall back on something.
Yeah, he seemed like he seemed like he has his priorities in order, you know? Like, when it's time to come fight night, he's gonna turn into a fighter. Come promoter, comes time to promoting, he's gonna do what he has to do as a promoter.
Yeah, he'll probably, he probably has a good team. He'll probably come fight time, you know, not even not even want to hear anything about his promotion company.
Yeah.
It's going to be just straight business.
It's going to be straight business.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
So one thing that happened, one of the fighters that was on the card, O'Hara Davis, was unfortunately removed from the card because of some comment he made on Twitter toward another fighter and a newspaper over in England. So I'm not going to go too much into details, but it's just one of these things where we have to warn these young fighters, and we've talked about this before, as the platform they have and how they use the platform they have, as far as, IG, Twitter, what to say, what to tweet, because this man just cost himself money right now, just being silly on social media. I mean, that's the world we're living in nowadays, man. Like, everything is scrutinized. Everything you will say, you have an audience paying attention to everything you're saying. You're a celebrity now. Whether you want it or not, I know you want to be who you are, because that's the comment he made, that this is who I am. I know boxing doesn't like me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I get it, but you're still a fighter representing a country. You're representing an organization. So there's a certain way you have to carry yourself. And there are certain things you just can't do. So just gotta remind these fighters that you have to be mindful of what you tweet and what you do. Not saying that you can't be yourself, but and that's for anybody that's in the media and in the media world. You have to be careful. You have to be careful what you do.
Yeah, I mean, because all eyes are on you now. I mean, it doesn't matter which sport you're in. If you say the wrong thing, and people are just looking, for reasons to scrutinize you now anyway. So you really got to choose and pick what you put out there for people to see. So I mean, I think it's going to be a lesson learned that may still affect him down the road. Yeah,
I mean, that's it, and you have to realize this is a business. By doing those things, some people may not want to do business with you anymore, and boxing is your livelihood. If you want to get signed in those big cards and those with those big promoters, you somewhat have to play the games, man. And until you get in a position where you can dictate things, you're going to have to play by other people's rules in the meantime,
Yep.
So, another fight announcement, Danny Garcia versus Brandon Rios is set for February 17.
Brandon Rios.
You want to touch on that a little bit?
I got Danny Garcia winning. That's all I got to say.
You got Danny because he's a Philly fighter, or because you don't give a shot to Brandon Rios?
I think he's just gonna beat Brandon Rios. I don't even like Danny, but I don't think Brandon Rios is gonna win. I think you said it. I think you said Brandon Rios is just a walking punching bag, man.
I mean, he gives the fan the fight they want to see, but I think Danny Garcia is just a better boxer,
I mean, basically,
and Brandon Rios is made for Danny Garcia. It would definitely be a fight for the fans. That would definitely be a fight for the fans, because Rios is going to be in the middle of the ring. He's not gonna, that's how he fights. And Danny Garcia, he's a pretty good boxer. So, but the thing about Danny is, if you put him in a war, he's gonna fight back, So I think it's a good matchup for the fans. Just like you, I have Danny coming out on top, man.
Yeah, man. I think he's gonna go all 12.
You think?
I think Brandon Rios he's a real tough dude. I mean, he went 12 with, I think, Pac, man. Didn't he go 12 with Pac? And he got that knockout power. So I think it will go all 12.
All right. Okay. So another fight that was just announced. Was just made is Deontay Wilder will fight Luis King Kong Ortiz. On March 3rd at the Barclays Center. I still think it's a bad fight for Wilder. if you try to set up the Anthony Joshua. But hey, man, if you want to prove to the people you're the best, then okay, man. All right.
Make sure you win that fight with flying colors, man. That's all I can say to Deontay Wilder. It's gonna be a tough fight. It is.
But hey, if he wins, hey man, if he wins, to me, he beat Anthony Joshua. There's no.
Oh yeah.
If he wins that fight, if he knocked down or knock out Luis Ortiz, he beats Anthony Joshua. To me, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because Luis Ortiz is a better boxer than all of these. Well, not all of these guys, but he's a better boxer than Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. He moves around better. Now you can make the argument that Luis Ortiz is older. I think
a little older.
He's close to 40. So that might be the only thing that would affect his performance. But other than that, man.
Deontay Wilder's he's got some serious work ahead of him, and you know, he can't be doing these flying Street Fighter uppercuts like he does in his videos.
Hey man, he added the sidestep, man. He added the little.
he reinvented boxing with that, man. Did you see that?
He added the sidestep, man.
He said heavyweights ain't doing this, man.
He added the sidestep to the arsenal now.
You adding football moves.
So he really said that? He really.
Yeah. So I think I showed you the clip, right?
Where he said that he added a sidestep and a heavyweight don't do that?
He said no heavyweight is moving like I do, and then I think he said he's a heavyweight doing like welterweight moves or something like that, or I don't know.
I agree that he's very athletic.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But he doesn't show that enough in his fight. I agree with him. He has the athleticism to do certain things that we see in smaller weight classes. But does he do it? I don't know.
I don't think he utilizes his athleticism in a boxing fashion.
Right.
He'll run and do a sidestep and then hit you with the side of his glove.
Right. And the sidestep you can see coming though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not something that you would a boxing coach would ever teach you to do. So
on the same night, HBO has a doubleheader. Sergey Kovalev versus Igor Makokin for Kovalev WBO belt. The fight before that is Dimitri Bivol versus Sullivan Barrera for Bivol IBF title. The winner of these two fights will most than likely face each other in the future for a unification bout. Early prediction for this fight real quick. I think, I don't know much about the Igor guy, so you can never outlook an opponent, cause it's true, I don't know enough about the guy to make a prediction, but, yeah. Like I said, since Andrew Ward retired, I don't see who's going to stop Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah, you think he's unstoppable now?
He's not going to get the Adonis Stevenson fight, so I think he'll get his fight. But I will want to see Sergey versus either Barrera or Dimitri Bivol. I would definitely want to see that, one of these fights.
Yeah. You still have Sergey coming out on top?
Yeah, I got Sergey coming out on top, but Bivol versus Barrera, that I don't know. I honestly don't know who will win that one. But that should be that's the fight that people should look at. Bivol versus Barrera, man, two top fighters, two top contenders. That would be a good one. Yeah. So moving on, we got some fight in the works. Jarrett Hurd posted on his Instagram that he sent a contract to the Arislandi Lara to team for a unification fight. I think that's a bad fight for Jarrett Hurd, man.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you just got a belt. He was just in a big fight versus, who was it again he was fighting? Austin Trout. Okay.
Austin Trout. Yeah, it was Trout.
So the thing about boxing is, I think it's better to take like a good fight, a good name, and then take on maybe a smaller opponent and then go back and take another big fight. I
think that's how, like, that was, to me, always the format of how boxing works anyway. Mm-hmm. You know, contender, big fight against contender, then you cruise for a little bit, and then you fight another contender that climbs up the ranks.
Right, man. It's brave, it's ambitious of you to really want to beat the top dog at 154, who's Lara. But I think it's a little too, and I think even just forgetting even all that, I think it's even too soon for her to fight Lara. I think he still has to polish his boxing skills. There are certain things he still need to work on before he's calling out someone like Lara. That's just my opinion,
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Lara's, he may not be entertaining to watch, but he's still sharp and he's still a good fighter.
He's a great fighter. Lara runs, to me, other than the other Charlo guy, the other Charlo brother, Lara runs 154.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the fight in the work. Another fight in the work is Devon Alexander versus Victor Ortiz. I'm hearing rumor about that fight.
I saw something about that too. And I saw Alexander, but I forgot who they posted it about, and it was Ortiz. So I think that would be a good fight.
What do you think about Ortiz? Do you like Victor Ortiz?
He fought. Who was the last guy he fought?
The last guy he fought.
I know he fought. He fought Berto how many times?
Twice.
He lost the second time. He beat Berto the first time and lost the second time.
Right, yeah. But he had a fight afterward, and I think he won.
Yeah, he had a.
Hold on, let me check that real quick.
I've seen him in movies, so that's what I've seen.
That's my problem. That's what I'm saying. Once you're gonna give your take on Ortiz, I'm gonna give my take. I mean,
He's been in a couple
Yeah, he
movies.
fought Saul Corral.
Okay.
And he beat him.
He beat him, right?
Yeah, that was this past July. He beat him. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's not bad. I don't particularly care for him or like care to watch him when he's on. Like, he doesn't excite me to watch.
I don't even know why he's even still a name in boxing for.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't put him as a so relevant name.
Like, he's in and out of boxing. Like you said, he's doing movies. He's in and out of boxing right now. Like, the thing that I don't like about not that I don't like about Ortiz, but it kind of annoys me is he keeps acting like he's still a draw in boxing. Like, he's not active enough in the sport of boxing, and it's like he's more interested in a movie career at this point, which is fine. But don't try to make it seem like you still taking boxing seriously. That's my issue. Like, you see him doing interviews, you see him acting like he's training. He was supposed to have a fight. The fight that was supposed to get made was Brandon Rios versus Victor Ortiz. I don't know what happened to that fight. He just fell out. That fight ended up not getting made, but it's one of these things where I feel like his heart is not into boxing anymore. And I don't know if he's doing it just for a paycheck. But
that might be it. Man.
I feel like he's just happy collecting paycheck and then continuing and doing his movies thing. But he's one of these things where I would really want, I mean, maybe that's my heart of a fan. I would want Devon Alexander to win that fight and use it as a stepping stone for his career.
Yeah, I think I want Alexander to win that fight because he's making his comeback, and I've always liked him. I mean, the last real thing I remember of Ortiz is Floyd knocking him out. That was like Floyd's.
That was like 4 years ago, wasn't it? Like,
I think it was longer than that. I think it was longer than that.
He was longer than that because I remember we were sitting in Morgantown because that's what that fight. I was sitting in college at the time. So, but you're right. That's the last time that Victor Ortiz was in a big fight, and then he had the Collazo fight where he quit pretty much. He had the Brito fight. Where he quit too. So it's like, man,
didn't one of those? I don't know if it was before or after the Floyd fight. He got his jaw broken.
No, that was before.
That was before. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's like he's just come back to boxing, talk shit a little bit, and then act like he wants to fight, and then I don't know, man. I don't know. So, but yeah, that fight is in the works. Another one. That's a pretty good one. It's Keith Thurman versus Jesse Vargas. I'm hearing rumors for April. So,
April?
Yeah, Jesse Vargas versus Keith Thurman, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who would I?
That's a good
I think Thurman. Yeah, Thurman would come out on top.
Thurman, like I said, man. Ever since I saw Keith Thurman fighting against Sean Porter, and he was actually. I'm telling you, I thought he would fall into the trap of Sean Porter of brawling. I mean, and he was kind of a brawl, but he was brawling / boxing.
He was a better brawler.
He was a better brawler. Exactly. Like he really showed his boxing skills. Like he was really, he did a really good job in that fight. After that fight, man, honestly, the only person I see who's not the only person, the only two people that are a threat to me at 147 for Keith Thurman is Spence and Terrence Crawford. Those are the only two people. Spence and
Crawford, yeah. Yep.
Spence and Crawford. I don't know who number one, exactly. I don't know who number one at 147. It's either one of these two and then Keith Thurman. Because I don't think Jesse Vargas got the pop. I don't think he has the power to really threaten someone like Keith Thurman.
No, not after, like you said, after the Porter fight, man. If you can stay in there with Porter and take that punishment, then I think you're not going to see anybody else really like that.
Yeah.
In the down the line.
Yeah. So that's what we got for the fight of the works. Now we're going to move on to the topics of the day. So on social media again, we got some back and forth between Floyd and Lomachenko about Floyd, one of the Floyd fighters on the Mayweather promotion, who thanked Gervonta Davis. So let me.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So no, I was gonna ask you, what do you make of it? What do you think? How would that fight play out? Is Tank Davis too green for Lomachenko? Is it a fight that we will see in the future? What do you think? Give me your take.
I think it's definitely a fight we'll see in the future, but it can't be too far in the future. Yeah, I do. But I was just watching a video. I think it came out yesterday of Floyd actually talking about Lomachenko and why they don't want to take that fight yet. And he said it's basically just a business of boxing. Like Tank he's 23 and he's got plenty of time. And then he touched on another interesting topic, about Bob Arum, being Lomachenko's promoter. Like, Floyd wants Lomachenko to do good, but he was saying like you gotta tell your promoters to pay you. I think Lomachenko only got 1.2 for the Rigondeaux fight, and with him and this is all stuff Floyd was saying, so this is not me coming up with this stuff. Floyd was saying he got Lomachenko, which is a 2-time gold medalist, and he's supposed to be number 1 pound for pound, but you're only paying him 1.2 million. Like, how does that really make sense? But
how is that Floyd business though? Like, whether he's not getting paid or not, that's not your business, I mean, that's just, to me, that's just Floyd buying time anyway, but.
Yeah, I think that's his whole point of this is that, buy time and let the fight settle so it could possibly get more money out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the point he was getting to. He's saying, Lomachenko isn't as big as a star as people are making him out to be, basically. So that it doesn't benefit Gervonta to take that fight, especially with him being so young.
So essentially, he's saying the fight will make way more money down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
And it's no rush for Gervonta because he's 23. Yeah, I mean, on the other side though, Lomo is 30?
He's 29.
He's 29. So I mean, time is running out for him, but not yet though. I mean, he's got time as well. So maybe like three or 4 years.
The way he fight, I'd see Loma. He may lose but 29, he's in the peak of his career. Like, honestly,
yeah.
Loma got another good 3 years. So I don't think Floyd can run away. I mean, not Floyd, but I mean, Gervonta. He can't keep Gervonta Davis running for 3 years. There's no way.
No, and that's what I was thinking as I was listening. Floyd made the point that Gervonta has time, but Lomachenko doesn't have that much time necessarily. So the fight's going to happen. It's going to have to happen sooner than he probably wants it to. But I think if that fight did happen though, I mean, if Lomo still keeps that pep in his step, I think he'll beat Tank.
Man, I feel like I have so much to say about this. It's like, okay, first of all, the thing you said about the promotional thing, I mean, I get it. Yeah, the kid is young. That's true. But is Gervonta disciplined enough to fight someone like Lomachenko? That's my problem. Like, what is his mindset going into fighting? Because I think I've said this before. It's the way Gervonta is doing certain things to me that I'm just like, I hope he's not getting ahead of himself where he already thinks he's the best when he's not, because I feel like he's not taking the sport as seriously as he should. We saw the same thing happen with Tevin Farmer, where Tevin Farmer thought he already won the fight. He would get the matchup, and he didn't get the matchup, And I'm seeing the same thing kind of playing out with Gervonta Davis, where he's doing a lot of things, but he's not taking the sport of boxing seriously. And man, I honestly don't know if Floyd really won that fight, to be honest with you. I don't think Floyd want to put him in there against Lomachenko.
I think that too. I think Floyd knows that, Lomachenko is a very formidable opponent, and that could very well be Tank's first loss, man.
It will be, like I said, the kid is he's on the rise, and Lomachenko will stop that rise. He's on the rise. He's having everything going on for himself right now, and like I said, Floyd is approaching it the business way, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's doing. He's not going to try to please the fans because that's the fight that the fans are demanding. And it's true that in 2 years, at 25, Gervonta Davis could take that fight. But I think at 31, Lomachenko should still be fine,
Yeah, I think 31 he should be fine as well. I don't think he'll lose anything as far. If he stays busy the whole time, I don't think he'll lose any type of skill or, athleticism or anything like that. But I mean, it's funny you said that, Floyd was talking about the business side because like in the title of the video, it's like Floyd schools Lomachenko on the business of boxing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's basically what it is. It's just Floyd always thinks the business side, and that's always going to come first for him.
And Bob Arum is going to be Bob Arum regardless, you know what I mean? He's just going to do he's going to maximize his chances of getting more money, I just hope that once again, we're not going to be robbed of a fight because of Floyd history with Bob Arum.
Yeah.
So to stay on the Floyd topic, again on the social media, Floyd is going after everybody, man. He's going after everybody. So, What the thing? So apparently, Sugar Ray posted a picture, and Floyd commented that I will beat you up. Did you follow that beef, so-called beef?
Watched the video a little while ago, or a little earlier in the week, and
Floyd was being disrespectful, man.
Yeah, I don't know how it started. I saw some of the tweets or whatever.
Yeah. From
Sugar Ray Leonard to Floyd, and I don't know how it all started, but I don't know if it was in the middle of from what they showed, but it said like Floyd was like, "You're Sugar Ray Leonard, I'm the best ever," and then Sugar Ray was just like, Sugar Ray was very respectful. He was like, Floyd, remember that time he came up to me and was like, yeah, you wanted the best or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And I don't know. I mean, that Floyd was like, and of course, Floyd's first response, he jumped on the defensive, train like Floyd always does, and was like, you lost. Like,
oh, yeah, okay.
Your first loss was to Roberto Duran.
Right. And then Sugar Ray Leonard said, I will beat you up just like I beat your dad. That's something like that, right?
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. I remember now. He said, I would have beat you up just like I beat your dad. And didn't he beat his uncle too? Shit.
I think so. Yeah, I think he beat his dad and his uncle.
He beat Jeff Mayweather. Yeah. So so now this is my question. How, and this is just, hypothesis. If that fight would have played out, I was going to say prime Floyd, prime Sugar Ray, but were they even in the same weight class? But anyway, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, just for sake of talking, who would come out on top? Who do you got winning? Who do you got winning that fight?
Man, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Sugar Ray Leonard, man, because so Floyd's style is a complete like copy of how his dad fought too. Mm-hmm. The thing with his dad just didn't have any power or anything like that. His dad was slick and everything like that, but he didn't have any pop to his punches, so he could literally walk through his punches and like counter, do whatever you wanted. And it's going to be different with Floyd, obviously, but Floyd Mayweather Jr., but I'd give it to Sugar Ray, man, because he was,
I disagree.
You think Floyd's going to get him?
I disagree. I disagree. Because prime Floyd, if there's one thing that I've seen in Floyd that I haven't seen, that you just don't see in boxing is his way to adapt. Any style, anybody that was against Floyd, he always adapt to his style. People can bring up the Castillo fight won as much as they want. But like I said, the Castillo fight, the first fight, Floyd hurt his hand. So he did everything he had to do to survive in that fight, and he still came out and he won that fight. And we saw what he did in the second fight. He beat him convincingly in the second fight. So that's where I always bank my money on Floyd is his ability to adapt. Anybody that I saw in Floyd's career, toward the third or fourth round, he figured out the way you fight. Like the first three or four rounds, he kind of see he kind of move around, kind of see how you're going to do things. He see what you do. And then fast from the 4th to the 12th, he beats you. This is what happened to the Shane Mosley fight, for example. We can say, okay, Shane Mosley was over the hill. And I don't think he was over the hill because he destroyed Margarito. Shane Mosley caught Floyd with I think, was it the first round or second round where he caught him?
Second round.
Man, he caught him with a straight Floyd knee. He buckled a little bit, but what happened? After that punch, the rest of the fight was a boxing clinic by Floyd. Mm-hmm. And I think he would be the same thing. I did not say he would be a boxing clinic versus Sugar Ray Leonard, but I think, people are just going to be like, man, I ain't even going to listen to these people no more, man. No, but I think he would adapt to his style. I think he would adapt, because Floyd was, like I said, he was just too much speed, the reflexes, and the God-given abilities he had, because that's the thing too, that the Floyd of this world, the Lomachenko, you can't teach that to a boxer. You can teach him how to slip, how to duck. You can't teach him how to be more effective, but you can't teach speed. You can't teach someone how to be elusive the way Floyd was.
I think Sugar Ray Leonard falls into that category too, man. I think he was just as speed wise, power.
Now, do you think he was as gifted as Floyd though?
As far as just like fighting IQ, I think Sugar Ray Leonard could also adapt. And he fought a lot of tough dudes as well.
Right.
I'm thinking about when he fought the Hitman, he fought Tommy Hearns.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was, and I want to go back to this fight too, because, I have a question to ask you after this, based off of this. What was I saying? I think, he adapted, or, having the Hitman's reputation, what it was, and going in there and, beating him how he did, I think that takes something more than, just having skill. I think there's a lot of there's a mental game that goes into it as well. I think that Sugar Ray had, and Floyd has it too. A lot of these great fighters had it, and I think that's part of it as well. So I just think it'd be an interesting matchup, because I think Floyd would adapt, like you said, because he does that with everybody. But I think Sugar Ray Leonard would also have something, in his back pocket as well. I think Floyd would adapt, but then Sugar Ray Leonard would also change up his game plan. So, like I said, it's hard to say, because it's one of those what-if fights like we were talking about last episode. But I want to ask you, Ant, because Floyd's claimed to be the best ever, and Muhammad Ali is considered the greatest, and you got your Mike Tysons, you got your Sugar Ray Leonards. What do you think makes a fighter the greatest? Like, how do they get that? How do they get that title?
I honestly think that Floyd he definitely has a point in that discussion, that people don't realize that the problem a lot of people consider Muhammad Ali the greatest is because of what he did outside of the sport of boxing. Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people know Muhammad Ali, because of what he did outside of the sport of boxing. But when you actually start really looking at boxing for people that actually know the sport of boxing, there are a few fighters who did better than what he did.
Mm-hmm.
You talk, there's another Sugar that's supposed to be number one.
Yeah. Sugar Ray
Robinson, exactly. Sugar Ray Robinson. So what makes a great boxer? I think because Floyd changed the world of boxing forever. As far as generating money, as far as even fighters taking more random tests, Floyd changes all of that. He changed the discussion in the sport of boxing. The reason why fighters are getting smarter is because of Floyd.
Yeah.
So is he the best ever? He definitely has. Again, Muhammad Ali, I can't compare it, because he's done so much as far as politics and sacrificing his own career for the greater good of human in general, that he had that title of greatest. But that's outside of the scope of boxing, to me. Yeah. If we bring it in as far as just boxing wise, it's hard. Like I said, it's a hard question, because people are going to be so emotional about it. They won't be able to remove the emotion out of it, because when you see what Floyd, like I said, when you see what he's done in the sport of boxing, he definitely has a point. He beat more. Yeah, he beat way more. He beat more world champion than anybody else in the sport of boxing. Mm-hmm. When you look at the CompuBox, I think Floyd numbers are in there as well, as far as the more defensive fighter. He has the highest connection rate, something like that, in the sport of boxing. So if you look solely as far as accomplishment in the sport of boxing, he has a point. He does. He definitely has a point. Just people do not want to hear that, because they do not like the persona. They do not like who Floyd is. They do not like what Floyd has done outside of the sport of boxing. We both know what he did, Yeah. So that's where people do not want to hear the argument of Floyd versus Muhammad Ali. If we're being honest, that's what I think.
Yeah, and I just want real quick, like it applies to all the fighters, not just Floyd or Muhammad. You got like Mike Tyson, all them, Sugar Ray Leonard, Robinson,
like I said, Sugar Robinson. We have another one. Oh man, I forget his name. Sugar Ray Robinson, and then Jesus, how did I forget his name?
Why you look that up, man? Like my take on it is, I think it's hard to pin that title on any one boxer, because I think people are great for different things,
and it's different division as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, I've said it 100 times. My favorite fighter is Roy Jones. When in his prime, I thought he was one of the greatest. But he had certain qualities that you wouldn't find in other fighters. Then other fighters have certain qualities you wouldn't find in like Roy Jones or like Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. Like all those guys, they had something that made them the greatest. at one point.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. They all brought something to the sport that we've never seen before. Muhammad Ali brought the entertainment part of the sport, where he made the press conferences, he made fight entertaining. He brought so many people. He brought a lot of attention. I mean, boxing was already a prominent sport in America, but he brought a lot of people. I think he brought more people to the sport of boxing, Muhammad Ali by himself, and all he did for, not just human right, black people in the sport. He brought that. Mike Tyson brought the excitement back to the division. Floyd, I think where people are mad at Floyd is he wasn't an exciting fighter.
He brought the money.
Exactly. Floyd brought the money, but he didn't bring the excitement. He wasn't very exciting in the ring. He was pretty boring for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think that's why people...
And that's why they don't want to give him the title of the best ever.
Yeah, exactly.
He wasn't, and I'm just going to finish with this. He wasn't in any real wars. Floyd didn't have any real wars. He didn't have any real fight that people were just like, he always... For the most part, and that's the thing that's the other problem is, Floyd was so good that he was so good in his era that he really had nobody that people could compare him to in his era, and that's where the problem is. Muhammad Ali had so many people in his division. He had Joe Frazier, he had the Kevin Norton, he had the George Foreman. Muhammad Ali was fighting in the golden era of boxing. Mike Tyson had name as well. Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard had name himself. He had the Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler. They all these fighters had names. Yeah. Floyd only had one name attached to his career, Manny Pacquiao. And when he beat him, that was it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. And Floyd touched on to his division, but it was funny because, the first time a fighter that other than the heavyweights got, more than the $10 million purse was Sugar Ray Leonard against Hitman. So that was the first time anyone, any division other than the heavyweight won more than $10 million purse. Sugar Ray, he introduced that into, that division of boxing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it's hard when you have these what if scenarios, because you can bring up examples on top of examples about why a fighter would beat another fighter. But like I said, man, it's a hard question to answer as far as who the greatest is, because, there's different eras of boxing and there's different things that
different eras, different eras, different style, so it's a hard question.
But Floyd, respect your elders, man.
True, man. They paved the way for you to be where you are today, so you're right. That's true. Oh, it's funny. Another topic is apparently Holyfield will be starting Evander Holyfield will be partnering up with the WBC to create a welterweight tournament. Have you heard of that?
I did not hear that. I didn't even know. I haven't heard anything about Evander Holyfield.
No, that's new. That's new. That's like as of 2 days ago. They want to, I guess, create an 8-man single elimination tournament.
Oh, what?
Yeah, in the welterweight division.
Blood sport.
I mean, that's an interesting. I don't know much more about like the format of the tournament. I mean, that's a good idea. It's just the purse price, man. It's not a lot of money, but I guess it can bring more eyes to the sport of boxing in a sense where.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. They're going to bring the eyes, and then the money's going to go.
I feel like they're trying to. You know what I think? Now that I'm thinking about it, they're trying to follow like the Super Series kind of format. Just like they had the super middleweight series or the light heavyweight super series. I think they're trying to create the same thing for the 47 pounder division in the US. That would be a good idea. Mm-hmm. That would be a good idea because we know there's so many great talents at 147. And yeah, I mean, we'll just gotta see how that thing will play out.
That'd be interesting to see, especially with Holyfield doing everything. So
as 2017, and we have a couple of, I think, fun question that we have to bring up as we look into what happened the year of as this amazing year in boxing. So The first question is, and
real quick before we get into it, let's just give a round of applause for 2017. The year of boxing, 2017. Round of applause.
But you're right. 2017 has been one of the best year in boxing we've had in a long time. Long time. We had an amazing matchup in 2017. Great matchup. And I hope 2017 is going to be the same. Having said that, the fight of the year has been announced. Fight of the year has been the Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua over in England has been announced. Fight of the year. But now I'm asking you, what is your fight of the year?
My fight of the year, man, that is a tough one.
We got Kovalev Ward 2. We got Canelo versus Triple G. We got Triple G versus Jacob. We got Brooks versus Spence. You know, Thurman versus Garcia. Floyd Mayweather versus Conor.
Why you put that one on there? I'm gonna say, just for lengthwise, and action quality, you know, and what I enjoyed watching, I'm torn between Triple G and Linares versus Campbell, man.
Yeah.
Those two, they both went 12 rounds. Actually, I might say Linares versus Campbell because they had that knockdown
right
in the beginning, and then Campbell came back and was going at it. But then you got the Klitschko and Joshua, and they was just knocking each other down left and right.
Yeah.
Man.
In front of 90,000 people, man. They brought the heavyweight division back, man.
They really did. Man, I'm gonna just say GGG and Canelo.
Man, you're going for the easy one. That wasn't no fight of the year, man. A lot of people.
It was a good fight.
You can't even say fight of the year because, first of all, it's not that it was a robbery, but it was such a question mark in that fight that people won't even agree that it was the fight of the year. I think the second fight now should be pretty good. I mean, if they're able to make that fight, that's going to be a pretty good one. But my fight of the year, I'm going to stick with the heavyweight. I think.
Yeah, I know.
I want to stick with the heavyweight because I have another a different question. But I think fight of the year, yeah, is Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua because
I'm not even going. I can't even. I can't argue against that either.
Because of the magnitude of the fight, you know.
It's not. I can't argue against that.
Two big heavyweight, you know, in the best of. I mean, I guess Klitschko wasn't, you know, in his prime, but it was still a really great fight, like you said, man. Anthony Joshua got off the canvas and came back and sent Klitschko to retirement, man.
Sent him to retirement. So I think I'm going to stick to that. That's fight of the year. All right.
So what is the best performance of the year?
Performance?
Yeah.
As in like one individual fighter?
Yeah. He's like, shh.
Man.
I got it. I got that. I got this. Andre Ward versus Kovalev 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
The way he broke his body down and he made Kovalev quit was beautiful to me. I'm sorry. People criticized Andre Ward for too long. They didn't give my man his proper due. And like I said, the first fight being so controversial, and like I said, I admit, I didn't necessarily think Andre Ward did enough to win, but you know, he still got the win. But the second fight, he definitely got that win. The way he brought, like I said, because, okay, the thing is this, Sergey Kovalev, he's a bully, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the bully got out-bullied. Andre Ward bullied him that fight. And he humbled Kovalev, man. He changed his trainer. He's more humble. He takes boxing a little more seriously now. So, and he finally recognized that Andre Ward is a great fighter. So, best performance of the year to me goes to Andre Ward in the Kovalev fight, in the second Kovalev fight.
I'm gonna say I'm literally changing my mind every 2 seconds as I look at this list. All right, I'm gonna just tell you what my mind's thinking right now since I can't pick one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Canelo, but he sat on the ropes a little bit too much. He showed great defense and offense, but I think he cost himself that decision by not having his cardio up and sitting back too much. Like I said, in the fight, he showed a lot of skills, but it cost him. I was going to say Spence against Brook, but Spence got hit a little bit too much for me in that fight. You know, it wasn't a dominant performance, you know, but he won, but he made Kell Brook quit, but it wasn't a dominant performance. I was going to say Linares, but he let Boy come back and put some working on him.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a honorable mention to Luke Campbell because and the reason why is although he lost the fight, his father has passed away 2 weeks prior to the fight.
Yeah.
He was dropped in the first round. He got back up and he fought. It was a beautiful matchup, man. You know, and Linares, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people may be intimidated by Linares and all he did in the sport of boxing, but Luke Campbell proved he showed his boxing skills in that fight.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't let the knockdown get to his head. He got back up and fought the best as he could. So definitely an honorable mention to the kid.
Man, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Jacobs, man.
Versus Triple G?
Jacobs, Triple G, yeah.
I remember. A good one.
I remember that moment where I think Triple G hit him, and he just looked at Triple G and was like, "Let's go."
That's all you got.
Yeah,
that's all you got.
Yeah, exactly. And he did very well against Triple G. I mean, he did. I'm gonna say Jacobs because he did just as well, if not better, than Canelo. So I'm gonna go with Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Yeah, and I was thinking about Garcia too, but I mean, it looked too easy. Like Broner didn't do anything. It was really a one-sided fight with Garcia. It was just him in there hitting a heavy bag, pretty much.
All right.
So I'm not going to give him points for that performance. Just, he won, but you know, I got Jacobs, man. I'll say Jacobs.
Okay. So who is your fighter of the year, 2017?
Fighter of the year. Fighter of the year, man. I'm Jacobs. I'm gonna say Jacobs
as well. Jacobs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jacobs because he just fought as well too. Right? He fought
Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, he fought what's his name?
Last fight is Triple G. His last fight was Triple G.
No, he just fought. What's his name?
Danny Jacobs.
Yeah,
his last fight was Triple G.
It wasn't. He just had a fight, man. I'm telling you, it was against the guy. Because I'm telling you, man.
No, he had no fight since the Triple G fight. Oh, Luis Arias, man, damn!
Arias.
I forgot that fight. Right? I forgot.
I mean, it wasn't. It was a very one-sided. It wasn't one-sided, but you know, he beat the guy really convincingly, and you know, he really showed his how the levels of boxing can differ in that match. You know, the one guy was on one level, he was on a whole different level, and he proved it during that fight. Man,
fighter of the year, he has to go. Me, it's either Spence Lomachenko or Terence Crawford. I'm so torn between those three. Oh man, who should I go with? You know what? Let's be fair. Regardless of size, advantage, everything people want to say, I'm still going to give it to Lomachenko. Just because Rigondeaux talked way too much shit up leading to the fight, and he got in there and he made Rigondeaux quit. So I know it was a big size difference, but if you're going to talk all that smack and you're going to say your boxing skills are superior, when you walk in the ring, you have to show that your boxing skills are superior. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Lomachenko he made him quit, so I will give it to Lomachenko. Fight of the year.
Yeah. All right. I'm with it.
Who's the best prospect of the year? I'll give you a quick list because I know you got a few people. Ryan Garcia, the young prospect for Golden Boy, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, social media sensation.
Yeah. Ryan
Joshua
Garcia.
Kelly, the British fighter, the British welterweight. We have Shakur Stevenson, Inoue, Naoya Inoue, prospect as well.
Guy.
Yeah. Who else we got as far as like prospect? Man, those four, man.
Yeah, I'll say the Japanese guy, Inoue, Naoya.
I'm gonna give it to him too, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly for the sole fact that I've seen him fight, more than I've seen the other guys fight. So I'm basing that off of those performances. I know the Mikey Garcia. Not Mikey Garcia. What's his name?
Damn, we forgot Mikey Garcia for fighter of the year, man. He deserved it though.
Mikey Garcia, yeah, for
the
Adrian Broner.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Inoue. Inoue Naoya.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I know Ryan Garcia has been named prospect of the year 2017, and I know he has a lot of big things coming in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Inoue. I really like the way he fights. Very composed, very patient. He's gonna be tough to beat, man. He's really gonna be tough to beat. I want to see him fight more in the US, but I'm with you. I'm gonna go with Inoue.
Oh, Inoue Naoya. Big things in the future for him. Yeah. He needs to come over here.
So I got one more. what is one fight you'd like to see get made in 2018?
I want to see Spence versus Thurman.
Yeah? You don't want to see Spence. It can be a dream. Cam, it can be a dream fight.
No, Spence versus Crawford.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's funny because we talked about it.
Yeah.
With Holyfield and that.
Yeah.
we talked that Spence versus Crawford, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then I want to see Linares versus Lomo.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Mikey Garcia.
Nah. I don't know. Mikey Garcia is he's good, but I don't like watching him.
All right, I think I'm gonna go with I think I want to see the return of Tyson Fury, and I want to see Tyson Fury. Like I said, dream matchup. I would honestly want to see Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate he took the Ortiz fight because I don't see him winning that fight. But I really want to see. I think it's gonna be a crazy fight if he wins. But like I said, if he wins Ortiz, Wilder versus Joshua will be insane, man. Whoo, that fight will be the press conference alone, man. Whoo, I'm gonna have goosebumps.
It's gonna be a good one.
Or so Deontay Wilder versus Joshua, or Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury.
Alright.
So I'm gonna end this episode. So we got I'm gonna end this episode. We have like I said, it's been a crazy year in the sport of boxing, but we saw many fighters that go to retirement after this year. So who will you miss the most in the sport of boxing and why? You got Cotto, Floyd, Ward, Orlando Salido, Juan Manuel Marquez, Vladimir Klitschko, and Rigo down.
And Rigo down. Oh man,
not coming back, man.
Rigo down? Question mark. I'll probably miss Cotto out of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out of that list you said. I probably enjoyed watching him fight the most. Yeah. He never backed out from a fight. He always gave you a good show.
No.
He always came forward with his fights, and he always made it very exciting to watch. So yeah, I'm gonna miss him. Who you got?
I think I'll go with Cotto as well because Floyd, with everything that's going on, I really wonder if Floyd is really gonna stay retired. Do you think he's gonna stay retired? Because Floyd, he does these things where he's talking about, I'm coming back, but I'm not coming back, and I'm doing a deal with the UFC. I don't know. It's like with the right amount of money, he's constantly talking as if he's coming, and if he goes back. So I don't know if Floyd's really gonna retire. That's my question mark. But
I think he's done, and I think he's done. And if he's not, he needs to be done.
And if not, he needs to be done.
He needs to be done, man. He doesn't need to. If he comes back, it's not going to interest me because I think he's going to. He's already way past his prime, and that Conor fight really showed it. And I'm not even interested in seeing him struggle in the ring if he were to. Those first couple rounds against Conor, Floyd didn't. He didn't look like he should be in the ring anymore. Yeah, he won, but I don't think he needs to be in any type of combat sport, UFC or boxing.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with Andre Ward because the reason why is because I feel like he's in his prime. I feel like he was in a position where he actually started making money. He started having the matchup he wanted to, because every fighter in the sport of boxing, they work so hard to get to that level, get to that stage where they're making the big bucks, where they're actually relevant, when they can dictate things. And I feel like Andre Ward, he's kind of leaving the sport when he's actually at that position where he can, all he worked for in his career is actually reach that pinnacle now. And I just feel like, he still has 1 year or two. Then again, you will tell me, who is he going to fight? Because he's not getting the Adonis fight. There's no point of him moving up to cruiserweight or heavyweight, whatever he was trying to do. So maybe that's true. He has nothing else to prove in the sport of boxing, but the performance I saw against Kovalev really made me want to see Andrew Ward fight again, So I think that's the person I would miss the most. And I said it before, man, when I see all these guys fight each other, the Kovalev, Barrera, and other guys that light heavy, and you think that Andre Ward beat all of them, I mean, that's true. He has nothing else to prove in the sport. But yeah, Andre Ward, man.
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward.
I see that.
But having said that, I think all the fighters in that list all brought something to the sport. Klitschko, for example, he was a 10-year. He had such a long run in the heavyweight division. He will be missed. Salido will be missed also for all the wars and all the amazing memories he gave to the fans. Mm-hmm. Floyd, for the excitement he brought to the sport of boxing as far as outside of the ring. Floyd gave us some crazy 24/7. Floyd created the 24/7.
Yeah, pretty much.
He created the 24/7, the all access fight hype. So I really enjoyed those fight hype, those all access episodes with Floyd. So yeah, man. Juan Manuel Marquez for all the fight he gave us against Pacquiao.
Yeah, all 17.
All 17. Rigondeaux for the snooze. Yeah, man, but yeah, man.
Rigondeaux's to be seen.
But on a more serious note, I really hope that's not how you're gonna leave the sport, though. For real.
Yeah, me neither, man. That's not how I want to see anybody leave the fight on a no mas.
On a no mas, no.
Like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
That's what I got for that's all we got for the episode. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything else?
No, that's about it. That's about it, man. I hope 2018 brings just as exciting of a year of boxing 2017 was. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. It was a good year for boxing, man.
Yeah. I would say the same thing in terms of us. I think, I hope 2018 will bring us more fans. More followers, but more seriously, hopefully we're able to expand and do more for the podcast in 2018. Hopefully bring the podcast to YouTube as well, so we can reach more audience and we can engage more in the sport that we all love in YouTube, because I feel like YouTube give an opportunity for more people to comment on what they like, what they don't like, about the podcast or about some of the topics that we bring in, and we actually get to exchange with people in YouTube. So that would be great for 2018 to even maybe have some live sessions on Periscope or whatever
definitely
or other platforms. So if people have suggestion, like I always say, man, can let us know. You can hit up the IG page, the Facebook, the Twitter, A-Count the podcast, and if you have any comments or a question, email us at acountthepodcast@gmail.com. I want to wish everybody a happy new year, and hopefully every plans you have in 2018, you start working on your plans. Hopefully you have a great year.
Yeah, same, man. You said it all. Hold up. And 2018 comes return of DJ.
Hey!
DJ, man. Hey, you saying it now. DJ is returning to the podcast, guys. He has been absent.
He's been absent.
But he is coming back. He said so himself, and he is listening to this right now. So we got you, man. We'll see you in 2018.
Yes, sir. See you in 2018. All right?
All right.
All right. We out.
We out.